Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Face the Heels. This is episode 18. My name is Ben Cornett. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at BennyBoy702. Now, I know that we all know with the news with Twitter lately that you can only have so many posts to read before they limit you. And I thought that was kind of interesting. It's Elon Musk being weird. I don't know. I guess as far as Twitter goes, I believe if you're verified, which I'm not, but if you are, then you can read up to like 6,000 posts a day. But if you're not verified, you can only read up to 600 posts a day. I don't know. It's crazy, but that's Twitter and that's talk for another time. But anyway, we are back. Last week we were not here. I had a lot of stuff going on, so I apologize for that. But we're here this week. We're gonna tonight review Money in the Bank. This was a very, very good show this weekend. I enjoyed it. Um, in my opinion, this is probably one of the best WWE shows of the year so far as premium live events. Uh, just from start to finish, all the matches were really good. We can nitpick a few things, but for the most part, I mean, I'm not going to complain at all. I thought you had a really good opening, a hot opening, like you should always do. Excuse me, to start out a show, open the show hot, and then finish the show even hotter. So yeah, let's begin with the opening match of the show, which was the men's Money in the Bank match. You had LA Knight, you had Ricochet, you had Butch from the Brawling Brutes, you had Damian Priest, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul. It was quite a match. There were a lot of people saying that perhaps maybe Logan Paul would win the match, but I didn't believe that. I think he was just there mainly to give the match some more popularity, obviously, give it more of a shine. And, you could say what you want about Logan Paul, but the guy's good. He gets over. And, yeah, he's an outsider. I get that. But, he's really worked hard and putting his craft in to, look good in the ring. A lot of celebrities, do it for just the appearance, the money, whatever, to help themselves out. But, Logan Paul, I mean, he does it for his brand as well, but he also wants to be a wrestler. He also loves being in the WWE, and you could see that because the kind of charisma he has, uh, how he takes this, business seriously with working hard on the wrestling moves, stuff like that. It's not easy. I mean, you had people training for years to become a pro wrestler, and a lot of them don't make it. So for Logan Paul to come in and wrestle like he does, and take the business seriously, it's great. It's good to see, and and I respect Logan Paul for that. And just like Bad Bunny, when he was wrestling at Backlash, and then he had a WrestleMania match a couple years ago in Tampa. I mean, he was phenomenal in the ring. I mean, just he got over really well, wrestled his ass off, and those guys love the business, and you could see that. And Logan Paul's no exception, whether you like him or not, or do you feel he belongs in the WWE or anywhere else. That's your opinion, but my opinion is he's done really well for himself and for the WWE. So it's a win-win if you ask me. And as far as the match goes, a lot of people, thought, hey, this is LA Knight's time. He's getting over. You can hear the crowds. He's getting, bigger pops every week, and you would assume that automatically you got to think that he's going to win this, and it looked like for a moment he did. When he got on the top, he had his hand on the briefcase, but Damian Priest came in at the end, gave him the choke slam, and he grabbed the briefcase, wins the match, and there's your winner right here. So Damian Priest does win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. As far as, do I think he deserves to win it? Yeah, I think he does. I'm fine with this. I know a lot of people wanted LA Knight to win, and I wouldn't have been against it either. I think, you like to go with the hot hand, somebody that's really getting a great response from the crowd. But, for Damian Priest, in a way, it kind of does make sense, with the Judgment Day going on and possibly splitting up pretty soon. You start seeing the tension. You saw it, during the Seth Rollins Finn Balor match, which we'll get to in a little bit. But I'm fine with this. I know a lot of people wanted LA Knight. They're upset that it's like, oh, why did you do that? Why did you, now you're killing his momentum. No. We got to wait and see. Listen, LA Knight is getting over. There's no doubt about it. But I do think Damian Priest probably needs this more than LA Knight right now. And I don't want to hear the age, the whole age thing. Oh, LA Knight's 40, he's 41, something like that. But Damian Priest is 40. So, they're both in their 40s. Okay. So age doesn't matter. Like, to me, right now, I feel I'm okay with this move. Damian Priest winning the Money in the Bank. I think he needs it more. He's had some tough losses as of late, but I think this will help make up for it. Now, more than likely, he's going to cash it in. He's going to cash in for the world title on Raw, which is held by Seth Rollins. And this could be the end of Judgment Day. We could see kind of like two birds killed with one stone here. Damian Priest cashes it in. Then he's out of the Judgment Day. And maybe they start a program with, Priest and Finn Balor. Now, will Priest win the title? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. But I'm okay with this. This is a good decision. I feel like you can do a lot of different things with this. And again, LA Knight, this is not going to kill his momentum. If anything, he's still going to be over. And if like say a couple months from now he's not over, then and he's put in like mid card to less than mid card, okay, then we could start to complain a little bit. But let's give it some time. Again, he's just starting to get over with the crowd, and you don't have to put it on him. Who knows? Maybe he'll be the next challenger for Roman. We don't know yet. But anyway, I'm okay with the decision. Let me know what you guys think. Did you think Damian Priest deserved to win it? Did you think LA Knight deserved to win it? Did you think somebody else deserved to win it, like a Logan Paul or a Ricochet or somebody like that? And speaking of Logan Paul and Ricochet, they showed a thing on Raw a little bit ago that they had a backstage fight after the match. That was over that move. I guess it was like a Spanish fly that Ricochet did on Logan Paul through the table. So that may be possibly a match coming up at SummerSlam with Logan Paul and Ricochet. It would be interesting. I think it'd be good for Ricochet. He can be, kind of getting some love out there, as far as being on a pay-per-view. He's in the mid-card right now, but, Ricochet's a good hand, and, Logan Paul Ricochet would be an interesting match. I don't know who would win that. Maybe Logan Paul gets over, but yeah, we'll see how that turns out. So let's go on to the next match. We had the women's tag team titles on the line. It was Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, they were the tag team champions, going up against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, a couple months ago, um, Liv Morgan had an injury, so she had to relinquish the tag titles, her and Raquel. Um, Shayna and Ronda won them on, I think it was one of the Raws, and they also won the NXT tag team titles. Now they're pretty much unified with the women's tag team titles. So they defended them against Liv and Raquel, and probably the biggest shocker of the night, Shayna Baszler turns on Ronda Rousey, and Liv Morgan pins Ronda Rousey for the win after Shayna attacked her. And Liv and Raquel were once again the women's tag team champions. It was a good match, but the biggest thing of the night was the surprise of one, Shayna Baszler turning on Ronda. It was surprising, but looking into it, I've read through reports that Ronda's looking to get out pretty soon, and I think in her contract she says she has a hard out, meaning that she can leave at any time. So it looks like this will probably be her last feud with WWE for a while. And she's always said, and it's been reported through the Wrestling Observer and other websites, saying that she always wanted to do a program with Shayna Baszler before she left. So this kind of makes sense. And they were supposed to do it before, but Ronda had an injury, and they're supposed to have a lengthy run with the tag titles, and then Shayna would then turn her back on Ronda. So now those two are going to be feuding. Again, that's probably going to be a SummerSlam match. So we'll see what happens there. So yeah, that was a surprise. And then I believe the next match, well, it wasn't a match. It was John Cena coming out, as you know. He surprised everybody. That was another big surprise. Coming out, addressing the crowd, pumping them up, saying to everybody that he would like to have WWE come back for a WrestleMania, here in London, 1 year. I think that would be cool. That'd be cool for the city of London. I think, they had a SummerSlam back in '92, I believe. That was the Brett versus Bulldog main event for the Intercontinental title. And I've always wondered why London's never really had a WrestleMania. I mean, sure, it's across the Atlantic, as far as, the logistics and stuff like that, it could be challenging, but these days, I mean, you could fly in and out of there. The NFL does that. They have 3 games in England a year. Now they're going to have 2 games in Germany. So, it would make sense. I mean, you would have the way it would, be structured right now. You'd have Friday Night SmackDown, then you would have WrestleMania Night 1 Saturday, and then WrestleMania Night 2 Sunday, and then Raw in London Monday night. So it would make sense. You'd also probably have an NXT, possibly doing their takeover, one of their shows. So yeah, it would be a very cool event if WrestleMania comes to London. I think it will eventually. And I've heard reports saying, well, was it kind of a shot at AEW's All In, since they're doing the Wembley show at Wembley Stadium in the end of August? Kinda, in my opinion, kinda does. I mean, but we got to remember too that last year, Wembley Stadium approached WWE to see if they wanted to do a show there, but WWE chose Cardiff instead. That was the Clash of the Castle show. So, and that was I think it was Drew McIntyre against Roman Reigns. So they did turn down Wembley, and so that's kind of interesting that WWE wants a WrestleMania. It's obviously going to have to be in Wembley. I mean, all WrestleManias now are going to be stadium shows. They're not going to do it in an arena. So, yeah, I mean, I would love to see it. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Hell, I mean, I'd be tempted to actually go to London to see WrestleMania. It'd be cool. The crowds there are really boisterous and loud. They love their wrestling, their pro wrestling. So, um, yeah, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, John Cena addressed that, and then Grayson Waller came out, did the heel thing where, yeah, they'd rather have it in Australia than in England, and told Cena he could be a guest on the Grayson Waller show. It's typical heel stuff. You kind of knew what was going to happen. Cena was going to do the F5 or the FU on Grayson Waller. You saw that. Made the crowd happy, cheered on. So, yeah, I believe Cena was filming in London, doing a movie there, and I'm sure Triple H said, "Hey, John, doing anything? Come on by." Or John be saying, "Hey, Hunter, can I stop by, do a promo?" And Cena's got those kind of privileges. He's gonna always be welcome in the WWE, so why not? And it was good. It was a good little segment. I enjoyed it. Brought some nostalgia back to the show, to the fans, the audience, who have been, fans forever, since the Ruthless Aggression era. Me going all the way back to the '80s. So yeah, I thought it was a fun little segment. So kudos on that. Before we get any further, we got some comments here tonight. I'll read those real quickly. Let's see. Sean Spencer, I love that Damian Priest won it. I think it's about time for them to start pushing him. Yeah, I mean, Damian's he's a star. Sean, I've been following him since his Ring of Honor days when he was Punishment Martinez, and I actually saw him at a Ring of Honor show back in 2018, I think it was 2017, 2018, something like that, when he was still in Ring of Honor. So, that back then, nobody really knew who he was, at least outside of Ring of Honor, but he's come a long way. So, yeah, I've always liked him. He's got a look, and yeah, I think it is time to push him. Nathan Snell, okay. Sean says Logan Paul is what some might call relevant, and that's more important than anything else in the field. Yeah, and Sean, again, sometimes it helps. It helps, especially when you got a celebrity that wants to be in this business. A lot of times some celebrities or MMA people, and I'll probably take some heat for this, but I don't know if Ronda Rousey loves being a wrestler. I think she likes being in the business, but she doesn't love being a wrestler. But you can tell, like I said earlier, Logan Paul loves to do this, and so does Bad Bunny, and it shows in their matches, in their promos. I mean, they really like being in this, and that's the thing. If you love it, and it's going to show, and people are going to respect you. They're either going to boo the hell out of you, or they're going to cheer the hell out of you. And that's what you want. You want the response. If you don't get the worst thing a performer can get in the business is no response. If nobody's responding to you, then it doesn't help you. You're not going to really get over. And they're responding well to Logan Paul. He's getting booed. Look at Dominic. He's getting booed. People hate Dominic. Well, he's doing his job. He's getting you to boo him. He's getting you to hate him. That's what you want to do as a heel or as a babyface. You want to get those cheers. So that's what you want is the responses. And Logan Paul, his celebrity definitely helps out, and it shows he loves the business. So yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Misador, thanks for tuning in tonight, Me. How you doing, man? He says, Ben, that donut duster is thick. Yeah. I knew somebody was going to bring that up, and yes, everybody, this is uh, a very terrible attempt of ravishing Rick Rude, but no, man, I wanted to try it. I said, I want to do a mustache. I've never really done one. I've always done either a beard or a goatee, and I was like, let me try this. Let me do the mustache thing, and I like it, man. This is cool. I don't know how long I'm gonna rock this, but I right now I'm enjoying it. It's summertime. It is hot, so kind of want to clean shave it, but I also want to keep some of this, little Tom Selleck, Keith Hernandez, porn star kind of look. But yeah, but thanks, me. I like that donut duster, little backhand compliment. Appreciate it, bud. Appreciate you being on the commenting on the show too. Thank you. Alex Chalmer and Bader just went yard. There it goes. See is Sean Spencer. Thank you, Alex, for bringing baseball into the wrestling show tonight. Where does everybody watch wrestling? In their homes, on their TV, on their laptop, computer, their phone, wherever they watch it, Scott. Sean, Scott Taylor, we watch it on Monday and Friday nights. Monday is Monday Night Raw, and Friday is SmackDown. That's correct, Sean. Yes. And Sean says, talking about going back to the 80s, that mustache. Oh, thank you. Yes, it is. Again, I wanted to try it, and I like it. I like it. I didn't think I would at first. I was like, could I pull it off? But so far, I'm digging it. Scott Taylor, what station? Monday Night Raw is on USA Network, and SmackDown is on Fox every Friday nights. It's on right now on USA or Peacock. Okay, yep. And also, oh, here we go. Scott Taylor. Rhonda is on Stars on Mars. Yep. She's on that reality show. That's right. She's her. Dwight Howard's on that show, and I forget who else is on there, but yeah. Rousey doesn't know how to make things look real while being fake. All her moves look like she's doing a move in the MMA. Yeah, her wrestling's not bad. To me, though, Sean, it's more of the personality. It's more of her being, comfortable out there. I don't know if she takes this seriously enough. I'm not saying she's mailing it in or anything, or not trying, but you gotta stand out. Your personality's gotta shine, and she's not the greatest on the mic. Not a great promo, but her star power in MMA got her to the WWE. And early on she had success, when she first got there, but it seems like the last couple of years it's kind of been, the trajectory's just gone downhill for her. And I think now that she has a kid, she's she owns several acres of land, with farm stuff. She likes to do that kind of stuff, so she'll probably spend more time doing that. Wants to get home and just be a mom and enjoy life. She's done pretty much everything. She's been widely successful in UFC. She's had success in WWE, so she may be looking to wind it down and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do some other things right now. So I don't blame her. Nothing wrong with that. So, good for her. Scott, I'm responding to you, Ben. I'm getting very excited. Oh, thank you, Scott. I'm watching The Bachelor. I just came here to support Ben Cornett. I appreciate that, Scott. Thank you for supporting me. Appreciate that. And to everybody else that's supporting me and the show and supporting the stash here. Appreciate that. By the way, Scott Taylor, you had a show you were on tonight with Mr. Sean Spencer, Truth Be Told, talking about the pandemic. That was a very good subject. Very good talk. It's a very unique conversation. Very unique topic. I won't go on about it, but watch their show. You can see it on YouTube. It's called Truth Be Told. That's on the Let's Talk Football platform with Sean Spencer. So if anybody gets a chance to watch that, go ahead, watch it. It's pretty good. Look good, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sean. Looks. Yeah, it's the stash. Appreciate it. And Scott says wrestling is fake. Well, what about Santa? What about Santa? We can talk about him around the holiday season. We'll save that for later on. Yeah. So anyway, back to Money in the Bank. I'm gonna swig that for a moment. Let's see, where were we? We had the Cena segment. Let's get to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You had Io Sky, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Trish Stratus, and Zelina Vega. This is a very interesting match. I again enjoyed it. A few spots that you can nitpick, but I thought it was very fluid. Everybody got their shots in there, their chance to shine on a few moves. But in the end, it was Io Sky, and I thought creatively the finish was really nice. As you know, Trish and Zoe had handcuffs. They're handcuffing Becky, but they couldn't handcuff her to the rope or whatever to try to keep her from getting the briefcase, climbing the ladder to get the briefcase. So anyway, it came down to Becky and Bayley, and long and behold, Io Sky goes up there. She takes the handcuffs from Becky, puts it on Bayley in between the ladders, and they're stuck. And I thought that was a very creative finish, very clever. I enjoyed that finish, and you saw that. And Io was able to grab the briefcase. She wins the match and the briefcase. And good for Io. There she is, right there with the briefcase. Yeah, I like Io winning this. I think it's time to give her some, shine there. Give her an opportunity to see if she can have a run with the title. Now will she win the title? I don't know, but her being on SmackDown, you got the women's champion Asuka. That could be a match for down the line. She has 1 year to cash it in. So I don't expect her to cash it in right away. I think she'll wait. Again, she's on SmackDown, so the champion there is Asuka, and we'll see how that goes. I like her having the briefcase. I think you can eventually see a feud with Bayley. Especially after Io won it, Bayley being the jealous, possessive person of the Damage Control. She'll say that she got screwed and maybe even challenge Io for that briefcase. I don't know. You can go a lot of different directions with it, but I think the right person won. Becky doesn't need it. I don't even think Bayley needs it. Trish, she's a legend already. She's done everything. She don't need it. Zoe, I don't think she's there yet. Could have maybe given it to Zelina, but I think this is the right choice. I mean, Io Sky, she's getting more of a babyface reaction lately. It's probably a matter of time. It's just like Damian Priest with Finn Balor could be breaking up. You could see Io and Bayley break up Damage Control. So, yeah, I think this is probably the way to go. So, yeah. The next match, let's talk about Cody against Dominic. I think we all knew Cody would win. I mean, the question is how long this match was going to last. Cody's usually really good at selling, making the heel look really good. And, Dominic's already great heel. The only issue with Dominic is really the experience, lack thereof. He's only been wrestling a few years. He's getting better in the ring, and I was one of those that probably said he probably could have used NXT. Could have started out there for a moment, but he's been on the main roster since he got started, and this heel Dominic thing is going strong. The fans, he's getting that heat from the crowd. He boos every time he starts to talk, so he's doing something right. And I thought this is a good little match for Cody. It keeps him busy, until he goes back up against Brock again, which we'll talk about in a minute. We saw on Raw earlier, and I don't know if you saw it, but Cody came out after Seth came out, and just when Cody was about to talk, and you're possibly seeing a Cody Seth match at SummerSlam. Brock's music hits, Brock comes out, and they go at it, and it looks like that's going to be the SummerSlam match. So we'll preview that in a little bit. But yeah, anyway, Cody got the win. Not like I said, good little match. Dominic got his licks in, did some good heels work. Rhea tried to, help Dominic every way she could, but Cody just outsmarted both of them, and Cody won the match. So good for Cody. That feud's over with. Now they can move on. We'll see what Dominic does. I'm not sure where he goes after this, but I'm sure he's going to have a feud with somebody. So yeah. The next match, or I think this was the match before that. I forgot. I don't know how I could forget this match. It was Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, defending against Matt Riddle. This is an interesting match. I thought, probably not Gunther's best match, but, still good. He ends up beating Riddle, makes him tap out to the ankle lock, I believe it was. And Gunther's still the Intercontinental Champion. That's fine. It's not time to beat him yet. Riddle, he's just got back. Maybe they'll run it back again. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see where Gunther goes. Well, speaking of that, we could have this preview. After the match, Drew McIntyre came back, and it looks like that's probably going to be the match for SummerSlam. It's going to be Drew against Gunther, and Gunther, they both stared down, had some words. Gunther shoved Drew McIntyre, and then the fight came on, and then both got their licks in, and then at the end, Drew gave Gunther the Claymore kick and knocked him out, and that was the end of that. So that's probably going to be the SummerSlam match. I think it'll be a hell of a match. Could Drew be the guy to dethrone Gunther? I don't know. I think I'd have Gunther win. Get him some wins, Drew doesn't really need it. But I wouldn't be shocked if Drew was the guy that finally beats Gunther, but I'd rather have Gunther win and then keep building it, and then eventually have somebody who's hot as a babyface beat Gunther, and so it'll be interesting to see how that program works out. It'll be a hard-hitting match, I can tell you that. Both Drew and Gunther are very good performers. It should be a really interesting match. Can't wait to see it. Take a swig here. All right. Some more comments here. Scott says, I'm going to have to grow one of those Hoover brushes. Yeah, you should. It's pretty cool. Nathan Snell, good evening, man. Good evening. How you doing tonight, Nathan? Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that, bro. Sean Spencer. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. All right. So up next, we have the WWE World Champion, Seth Rollins, going up against Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. Um, they, I like how they told this little story. As you know, back in 2016, Finn Balor got called up to the main roster. That's when they started the brand splits again with Raw and SmackDown, and I believe Seth and Finn were on Raw. So they had a match at SummerSlam, and for the the inaugural Universal title, and Finn won the match. But he had an injury. He suffered I think it was a torn shoulder. Um, it was off the buckle bomb where Seth throws his opponent on the turnbuckle, and Seth landed on it. His shoulder landed, hit hard, ended up tearing something, and he had to relinquish the title on Raw. So they played off of that more or less. So I thought that was nice. Give a little history. It's like a 7-year history. Finn being angry, bitter that Seth cost him that title opportunity. So yeah, and then Seth having all the success while Finn was gone. So yeah, it was a good match. I kind of knew Seth would win. Now you wondered, like, would Damian Priest cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase, his contract, after Seth or maybe even Finn winning the title? But that didn't happen. Finn got distracted when he was going to do the coup de grace on Seth Rollins when he was on the top rope, and he saw Damian Priest, and he kind of stared at him, lost his concentration, and then that cost Finn. He missed the move, and then Seth hit his move and got him for the 1, 2, 3. And then after the match, Finn and Damian Priest had a little stare down. Finn looked upset, like So, like I said, this could probably lead to a big feud here down the line, and maybe a breakup of the Judgment Day, perhaps. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that turns out. It's got me interested. At first I was not the biggest fan of Judgment Day. I thought booting Edge out of the group was not the best creative move, but they've stuck around, and ever since then they've become really good. I think Rhea and Dominic are kind of the stars of the group. So yeah, it was it's probably time that they eventually start the split, but they'll let it play out for a while and then go from there. So yeah, but as far as the Seth Finn match, great match, maybe probably one of the best matches of the night in my opinion. So yeah, good. Sean Spencer said, I wanted them to give the title to Drew at the past pay-per-view. Yeah, I mean, that's what everybody wanted because he's from Scotland. England, Scotland's close to each other. But again, I'm okay with that. Roman deserved the title. He wanted to keep it on him. I know a lot of people don't like it. They don't like this long 1,034 days, whatever it is now, win streak. But, he's over. And the Bloodline storylines worked very well. So yeah, it wasn't time yet, but it is what it is. And now we're at, I think, 1,040 something days as the champion. So who knows? And speaking of that, let's get to the main event. And it was the Civil War, as they made it out to be. WWE. It's the Bloodline Civil War. It was the undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns, along with his cousin Solo Solo, and defended his. They went up against the Usos, Jay and Jimmy. Great match, great storytelling. Roman You know, they booed the hell out of him. Roman ate it up, got angry, got mad. I mean, it was just, it's like, wow, you know, this is what wrestling should be. It's about the story, it's about the characters. Yes, you know, I know today you have the gymnastics, the flips, the high flying stuff, you know, the AEW Forbidden Door. I'm not picking on AEW, but and it's great matches, but where's the story? You know, I know Kenny Omega and Ospreay had a great match, great match, Forbidden Door from a wrestling standpoint. But where's the story? You know, like to me, give me story and characters. I love this. The Bloodline storyline has been incredible. It's been one of the best, if not the best storyline we've had in pro wrestling in the last 5 to 10 years. You know, it just works. And you know, this match was no exception. You know, Roman, Solo, Sioka, you know, even Solo was kind of confused, you know, like he's kind of like, you know, is he mad at Roman? Is, you know, there's a moment in the match where Roman put his hand out and said, tag me. Solo was, you know, like kind of skeptical. He's kind of like, why don't you let me, you know, let me go after him? But he hesitated for a moment, gave Roman a tag. He got frustrated. So, you know, it's like Solo knows he's being used, but doesn't want to betray Roman. So we could see a betrayal pretty soon. And, but yeah, this match, very good. And probably the most important thing out of this match, in my opinion, was for the first time since December of 2019, Roman Reigns got pinned clean in the middle of the ring. Since 2019, that's 3.5 years that Roman's shoulders have been counted for 3. and you know who the guy that pinned him did that? Baron Corbin. You can't make this up. It's it's incredible. It's incredible how they've been able to keep Roman this strong and not have him even been pinned for 3.5 years. And then Jey Uso was the one to do it. Finally, his cousin was the one to pin Roman Reigns. Now, personally, I don't know if they should have actually pinned Roman like that. You know, I would have saved that pin for when he lost the title, but I get it. I get it. They had, from a storytelling standpoint, I guess it makes sense, you know, because, and we're going to get to this in a minute, the SummerSlam preview, and we'll, before we do that, let me read this comment. Scott Taylor, I like growing a mustache. My nose hair blend in so less grooming. Yeah, can cover the nose hair there. It's a good point, Scott. Let's transition over to the SummerSlam preview. Excuse me. So it had been reported the day after on Sunday. I went to WrestleInc.com, found some notes here, read that, bring this up, that 6 matches are reportedly in the works for WWE's next premium live event, SummerSlam, according to the new report from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, saying that as of this writing, WWE has yet to officially announce any matches for the show, but Meltzer is reporting that one of the 6 matches will be Jey Uso versus undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, which, as I said, you know, Jey pinning Roman could be a reason for that, and that may be the reason. We don't know yet, but most likely that's going to be the match for SummerSlam for Roman's undisputed title. The question will be, will Jey finally be the guy to dethrone him? I don't know. I don't think so, but I will say that this is a hell of a match, and you kind of saw it coming, but yeah, I'm all for it. Sign me up for it. This could be a very, very good match. From a storytelling standpoint, it makes sense. Again, Jey Uso fought Roman Reigns in Hell in a Cell a few years ago for the title. Roman won. Then that's when Jimmy came back, saved Jey from getting beat up more after the match. So there's a lot of story there, and that could be. I'm down for that match. I think it makes a lot of sense, especially when Jey pinned Roman at Money in the Bank. Makes all the sense in the world. So we'll see if and when. I won't say if. That'll probably be when, and the when will be SummerSlam. So yeah, and then it's a little more here. And as you know, I mentioned earlier, Drew McIntyre made his WWE return at Money in the Bank. Tapped Gunther. So this could be the title match at SummerSlam as well. Again, that should be an interesting match. Could be Drew's time to be the guy that dethrones Gunther, but I'd rather see Gunther win this, keep the title, have the title a little bit longer, and then maybe get a hot baby face to finally dethrone him. I think Gunther's too hot right now to take the title off him because he just looks so dominant. So I would keep it on him. And also it says that we could have a Becky Trish Stratus match at SummerSlam, which I mentioned, in past few episodes, that's probably going to be, that was like the destination, SummerSlam, Becky and Trish, and it'll probably be Trish's last match in WWE before she goes back to Canada, does her talent show, does other stuff. Becky, Trish, this isn't long term. This is just a short term for her being there in WWE to put Becky over. So, yeah, I think it'll be a hell of a match. Both are very good in the ring. Both are strong characters. Becky has always wanted this match, for years against a high-profile opponent. Trish is a legend in WWE, Hall of Famer. So it makes sense. And those two will finally go at it at SummerSlam. And also it's been reported that for this WWE women's title, or the Universal Women's title, I guess, I don't know what they call it on SmackDown. Whatever Asuka has, she's the champion there. And it'll most likely be a triple threat match between her, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair. And as you know, Friday night SmackDown, they had Asuka against Charlotte for the Universal Women's title. Bianca Belair interfered and cost Charlotte the title. So makes sense to have a triple threat match. Who goes over in that match? I don't know. I'd probably keep it on Asuka for a bit, and who knows? Maybe we could see Io Sky maybe catch it in on Asuka after the match, and you'll probably see a Charlotte Bianca program. So that seems like the direction they're going to go, but we'll see what happens there. I cannot wait for that. SummerSlam is August 6th, so it's shaping up to be a pretty interesting show. Again, we got about 5 weeks, so we'll see who's facing who. The build up to the show and everything should be a very interesting few weeks. And SummerSlam, I always considered I would say the number 3 in the top 3 as far as premium live events. WrestleMania is always going to be number 1. I put Royal Rumble too, because Royal Rumble, that's during WrestleMania season. It determines who faces who at WrestleMania. If you win the Royal Rumble, the men and women, they automatically get a shot at the world title or universal title. So yeah, I put that number 2, and then SummerSlam I would put number 3. As far as the top 3 or 4 pay-per-views of the year, or premium live events, as they say now. So, and here we go. We got one more from Sean Spencer. Sean says, I'm glad Trish is helping the younger ladies out, but from someone who has seen her from her beginning, I'm a little done with her. Um, no, I mean, I'm not tired of her. She's again. I think SummerSlam's her last. That's going to probably be her last appearance, and then, who knows? Maybe she'll be back a year from now or whenever she wants. But I don't think it's been too long. I mean, she's been there since what, February, March, WrestleMania season. So I am a little surprised she's lasted this long. I thought maybe she'd be around, she wouldn't be around every week, but I think she's been good for the women's division. The women's division's been kind of lacking lately, and that's another thing I want to talk about is, Rhea Ripley. Like, I know she had a match with Natalya tonight, but she hasn't really done anything. Her program's been with Dominic, and I'm wondering, who her opponent's going to be next. Who's going to line up to face Rhea? And I think it'll probably be Becky. Eventually, it'll be Becky Lynch, but I think they're going to save that. It could be a WrestleMania match. That's a little far away though, but it could be maybe September, October, the fall months. Fall, maybe winter months. Survivor Series. Who knows? I mean, but that's probably going to be the next opponent. Big time program for Rhea is Becky Lynch. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. But I do think Rhea needs to start being more prominent on Raw. Have a good program. Yeah, she's doing her thing with Judgment Day. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. But it'd be nice to see her, start defending the title a little bit. And yeah, I think Becky will probably be her next big opponent, big program, big money program right there. So yeah. And Sean Smith says, for some reason, I don't have an issue with Lita as much. Trish to me is an absolute legend, but I hate seeing people keep going after her, their perceived prime. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's it's not like Trish is going for the women's title or anything. I'm fine with. We hadn't seen her in a few years, so it's good it's refreshing, without overdoing it. But I believe from articles I've read, from like a year ago, like Becky wanted to do a program with Trish Stratus. She wanted to do it with somebody. It was Lita. She did it with Lita last year. Now with Trish. So that's fine. I'm all for that. So I don't think Trish is being overexposed, but yeah, but I don't think Trish is going to be around much longer. Again, she's got her own. I think it's Canada's Got Talent. I think that's what it's called up there. She's a judge for that show. She does, yoga as well. She teaches yoga, so she's a busy person, and so she's not going to be not busy. And again, she's doing what she should do as a veteran, like as a legend. Put over the younger talent, and then be on her way. So yeah, it'll be interesting. That should be a good match. Trish, again, she's like in her late 40s, and she probably looks better than half the women on that roster who are in their 20s or early 30s. So it's amazing. And one more. Sean says Trish came out with a face mask tonight. That's right. Her and Zoe Stark. That was from the match at Money in the Bank. I guess Becky, I don't know if she gave her a stiff one or not. I don't know if it was intentional, but yeah. And right now we're seeing we got Ron right now. We got Seth and Dominic. Looks like Seth is going to go for the stomp on Dominic here. Sorry about that, guys. They got Raw here. Oh, Damian Priest. Oh, comes in, choke slams him, and that's the match. It's a disqualification. So now Damian Priest is beating up on Seth Rollins. Yeah, and here we go. Seth is going to throw him outside the ring. And he's going to go. You can probably see it on my TV right there. I can't show it to you guys because, again, that's copyright. I can't do that. I have to block it somehow. So sorry about that. I don't want to get in trouble with Facebook. But yeah, if you guys are watching out there, like Damien's just beating the crap out of Seth outside the ring, threw him to the padded guardrail, and now Seth, Damien's beating up Seth on the announce table, and he's gonna choke slam him. Oh, did his move there. Yep. So now he's ripping the top of the announce tables, sweeping off all the monitors, doing a little play-by-play here. And Seth, damn, looks like he's going to do a power bomb on here. Oh, no, like a razor's edge. Look at that. Oh, no, Seth wiggles out of it. Super kicks Damian Priest right on the table. And now, Seth's going to try and do something. Oh, Dominic hits him in the back with the briefcase. And then Dominic, throws Seth into the steel steps, throws him in the ring, gets the briefcase. He's telling Damian, cash it in. Will Damian Priest do it? They're teasing it. He's going to get in the ring there. Oh, no, Finn Balor comes out. Oh, he's in there. They said he wasn't going to be there tonight. But no. There's Finn Balor. He's going to go on the top rope. They lied, saying he wasn't going to be there. Damian Priest. There's the riff. There it is. Yep. You knew this was going to be a matter of time. And Dominic's trying to play peacekeeper here. It sounds like getting out of there. Smart. And Rollins does the pedigree on Dominic, and then he runs away. Yep. Well, looks like that's the show right there, man. For Raw, pretty good ending, I thought. She called herself the GOAT tonight. I think you're referring to Trish. And there was a rift between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Yep. Oh, yeah. I think we all knew that was going to happen. And who knows? Maybe that'll be a triple threat match. Finn and Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. Who knows? Yeah, Finn Balor's like, no, Finn, you're not cashing in tonight. So, well, with that being said, everybody, we're going to go ahead and end this show, but I want to thank everybody tonight for coming on, leaving the comments. This was a lot of fun. We're back last week, like I said. I had to call an audible. Stuff came up. So, but it's good to be back here this week. As always, you can like and share this. Please do that and subscribe. As you can see, my social media handles up there at Twitter, BennyBoy702. My YouTube channel, which you're watching on that as well, at Ben Cornett 9015, and you're watching on the Ben Zone on Facebook. So, everybody, again, I want to say thank you for tuning in tonight. This is a lot of fun. And yeah, a lot more to come. In the coming weeks, we'll talk about, SummerSlam coming up. We'll also talk about AEW's got their All In show in London, and they'll have their All Out show in Chicago the following week on pay-per-view. But tonight I just want to talk mainly Money in the Bank recap, a little bit of Raw there. And thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. Appreciate your comment there, bud. Thank you. Like I said, just like and share this show. It helps me out, helps grow my my YouTube channel, my Facebook, Benzone group, as well as Twitter. So yeah, please like and share. And with that being said, I bid you good night, and we'll see you next time here on Face the. Oh yeah. One more thing. I did a thing last week where I did what was called a Face the Heels watch along. I'm gonna try and do one again this week. The one I'm gonna do though is we're going on the 25 years. We're going to continue that on this episode. We did last week. We did the one with Mick Foley being thrown off the Hell in a Cell cage. It was 25 years ago. That date. This one, July 6th is coming up. July 6th, 1998 was Goldberg winning the WCW World Title for the first time. So I thought I'll do a watch along show with that one. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that'll be part of it. Again, it's a watch along. And again, I can't show you it because of the copyright. But if you go on Peacock, I'll have my iPad next to me. I'll watch it together. I'll call it like I did last week, give you little details, or you just want to hear me talk about it. That's cool too. So yeah, we'll do that one. It'll be the Hollywood Hogan against Goldberg. Again, I did this mainly because it's 25 years. It's 25th anniversary. So I thought that would be kind of cool to do it on like anniversaries and stuff like that. So yeah, check that out. But again, I'll give you more details on that later on. Sean says, oh, sweet. Yeah, I'll check that out. Cool. Appreciate that. Again, this will be a recording. This won't really be a live episode. It'll just be a recording, and then I'll put it out the next day or later that night or something. And Sean, one more time. Goldberg was still undefeated, right? Yep. At that time, yeah, he was. He was undefeated. So, yeah, we will give you more details on that. And that's it for tonight. Everybody, again, thank you so much for watching the show. And Sean keeps keeping the comments going. Says, I videotaped that on VHS. Yeah. I saw it live. Damn, VHS. Now you're making me feel really old, Sean. Damn it. When you bring VHS up, that's when you know you're very old. Right there. Remember that VHS recording it on there? Dude, that's old. That's old school right there, Sean. You watched it live too. So did I. It was probably one of my favorite moments as a wrestling fan just because it was unexpected. But I'll get more into details into that when I do this episode. Again, it'll probably be recorded, so ahead of time, and we'll watch it on Peacock. So, and Goldberg was one of the first electric chants. Yeah, huge pops, man. He got that pop. You're right, Sean. He did. It was incredible. So, yeah. Anyway, I am out, and Goldberg. Yep, that's right. All right, I am out, guys. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time here on Face the Heels. Take care.